Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my top 10 favorite movies of the 1990s. So I've done my top 10 list for each movie since I was born in the 90s, starting with 92 and everything, so I'm going to rank my number one favorites from each of those years, along with the 2 years that I wasn't alive in the 90s, 91 and 90 and 1990 and everything, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Number 10 is Liar Liar, starring Jim Carrey. This was just a really funny comedy movie. It's one of my favorite movies of his. It's not my most favorite, but it's one of my most favorites. It's probably my top 3 favorites and everything. The rest of the cast is really good, especially the boy that plays his son. I can't remember his name, but he also played Dennis the Menace in the direct-to-video movie Dennis the Menace Strikes Again. But this movie was just a lot of fun to watch and everything, and Jim Carrey is hilarious, and the bloopers at the end of the movie are also really funny and everything. So Liar Liar is number 10. Number 9 is Patch Adams, starring Robin Williams. This was a really good movie. I think it's kind of underrated. It gets a lot of hate and everything for being mushy and not fully accurate and stuff, which I can understand the accuracy thing, people not liking, but I still think it's just a really good movie. Robin Williams gives a really great performance, and the rest of the cast is great in this movie as well, but I thought Robin Williams gave a really good performance and everything, so Patch Adams is number 9. Number 8 is Scream, easily my favorite movie of the decade, and probably still my favorite movie from the horror genre since I was born. I just absolutely love this movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, and everything. It revolutionized the slasher genre and brought it back into popularity in the late 90s and everything. It was just a really fun movie. And everything, so it's number 8, and number 7 is Home Alone. Now this movie came out 2 years before I was born, but it's one of my favorite movies of the 90s as well. Esley and I have reviewed this on, I think Esley's channel is the channel we reviewed it on, but I just absolutely love this movie. It has a great cast. Macaulay Culkin is awesome as Kevin McAllister, and the Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci are hilarious as the Wet Bandits and everything, and just a really good movie. I love the sequel too. I actually like the second one even more than this one, but it didn't make my favorite movie of that year. But this is just a really good movie. So it's number 7, and number 6 is Disney's Aladdin. Now this movie has been one of my favorite movies ever since I was a little kid. It has a great voice cast, especially Robin Williams as a genie, but the rest of the voice cast is great too and everything. I've done reviews for this movie and its sequels on my channel, so be sure to check those out if you want to. Everything. So yeah, Aladdin is number 6, and number 5 is Disney's Beauty and the Beast. Now this is one of my favorite animated movies of all time. It's my second favorite Disney animated movie of all time, which I'll talk more about that sometime when I do my rankings of all of the Disney Animation Studios movies I'm planning on doing sometime within the next few months. But Beauty and the Beast is just a great movie. It's got beautiful animation and everything. Like Aladdin, I've reviewed this movie on my channel as well, along with its remake and 2 sequels and everything, so be sure to check those out too if you want to and everything. So Beauty and the Beast is number 5, and number 4 is Mrs. Doubtfire, starring Robin Williams. This was my favorite movie of '93, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's my favorite comedy movie, and everything. It just has a really, really great cast and everything, and really, really good movie, and everything. So it's number 4, and number 3 is Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction. Now this movie is the one that I think is, when people mention 90s movies, this is one of the first movies that always pops in my head. This movie pretty much just is like a good definition of the 90s. It's just a great movie and everything, and it's my favorite live action movie of the 90s and everything. I've got 2 more left on this list, and both of them are animated and everything. So here are my top. So next is my number 2 movie, and that is 1995's Toy Story, the first computer animated movie that full-length computer animated movie. It's a great movie and everything. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I've reviewed this one and the Toy Story 2 and 3 on my channel, and I'll be reviewing 4 tomorrow night. But I just absolutely love this movie. It was a huge part of my childhood and everything. So Toy Story is number 2, and my number 1 favorite movie of the 1990s is Toy Story 2. Now this movie took everything about the first movie and expanded it very well, expanded the world very well, introduced new characters that were really good, and it's also genuinely really funny at moments. It has a lot of good humor and stuff in this movie, but it also has a lot of sad moments and everything as well. And it's just a really, really good movie. So Toy Story 2 is my number 1 favorite movie of the 90s. It was a huge, huge part of my childhood. I used to watch it all the time as a kid. And I had tons and tons of toys and stuff from this movie, so it's easily my favorite movie that came out in that decade and everything. Plus, it was one of the few that I actually remember watching back in when it very first came out, because I was only 7 when this movie came out. So a lot of the movies that came out in the 90s before then are ones that I've come to love since I've gotten older and everything, like Scream, Pulp Fiction, and Liar Liar, and some of those. They're ones I didn't really grow up with because they were more aimed for adults, and I didn't really see them until I was in my teens. But this is easily my favorite movie of that decade and everything. So I'll be starting doing my top 10 list for each year of the 2000s, and after I do 2009, I'll do my top 10 ranking of favorite movies of that decade and everything. But anyway, that's my top 10 list of the movies of the 90s. So hope you enjoy this list, and have a good day, everybody.